Honey, we need to chat.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Honey, We Need to Chat.
We need to chat.
We're going to chat about it.
Welcome.
Welcome to you guys. If you are new here, so great to have you. This is the podcast all about the importance of communication in a relationship. We are just your everyday couple, navigating your everyday struggles to help you realize you can do it too. So thank you so much for joining us.
Good. You've just really got that snappy down now. It's like amazing.
Yeah.
Muscle memory.
I've said it a lot.
Yeah, welcome back. We're excited to be here with you guys. This episode is going to be a little bit of a personal update from us because we obviously touch on topics quite a bit on this podcast or Reddit stories or something like that, but we don't necessarily just chat about where we are at personally. We've got some things shifting around, so we thought we would share.
But we still have a toolkit at the end, so stick around to the end.
Practical.
So we will be giving some updates, but we'll also have some practical tools at the very end as well to help you guys work through some stuff.
One immediate update is it is school holidays here.
Yippee!
And we have 3 children
At home.
And they are enjoying their space. So if you hear extra noises in the background, that's what that is. We don't just have TV playing while we record.
No.
But we do have TV playing while we record and have 3 kids at home. So,
yes.
Bada bing, bada boom. All right. Let's start off with some icebreakers.
Some fun games. All right. So this is the segment that we have introduced recently, and I've had fun.
You've had fun nitpicking how I answer this.
Yeah.
So
you
I don't
get
know
it right.
how much fun other people have had.
But I've also introduced the level of this to my work meetings.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And everyone's like, I mean, they tell me they like it. So, yeah.
Do you correct them?
I do.
Ugh.
Well, one of them is a pediatric nurse. And so like a lot of them are around kids and stuff. And if he gets something wrong, I'll let him know.
But do you correct how they answer?
Yes.
Like if they say fact or truth?
Yes. Because they've got to put it in
You are
chat.
the most irritating person when it comes to these things. Great. Let's dive right in.
But before we do get into that, how are you doing?
I'm not well. I am actually a lot better, but 2 weeks ago, we had gastro when we were not well.
Yeah.
Then this week, I have had a cold that's just hanging around. So my nose is dripping and
flowing like the.
And I sound rough.
Yeah.
That's okay.
You sound great. Oh, stretch is good. All right, cool. Getting into the game. I feel great too, by the way. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, I know.
I feel fantastic. First fact or myth question, and please answer correctly. Even when couples split household chores 50-50, women still carry more of the mental load. Myth or fact?
I'm going to say fact.
It is in true fact. I was going to say it is in fact a fact, but it was like, it is in truth. Anyway, it is a fact. A systematic review of 31 peer-reviewed studies found that even in couples who genuinely believe they're sharing tasks equally, women consistently shoulder the larger share of cognitive household labor.
I reckon that is just how our brains are made.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I think like for us, we do split a lot, right? We split a lot of the work around the practical sort of stuff. But you will always have a level of mental load more than me, right? And I know we're talking about mental load, but my point is it doesn't matter if like the practical side is shared, the mental capacity of it, you just carry way more than I do.
Yeah, and I think part of it is, I would be curious to know what part of it is personality and what's not.
Yeah.
Because my pattern has been to be across everything and make sure everything's okay since childhood. So I don't know if that would be, gender specific, but most of my friends, I think, would carry the mental load even when their partner is carrying the mental load of it as well.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing though, is like mental load doesn't necessarily mean lazy. Like because you've got more mental load than me
doesn't mean
I'm being lazy.
Yeah.
Some circumstances it can be, but I don't believe that's our circumstance. I just believe you're always thinking I can switch off easier.
Yeah.
Like I can discard it easier than you can.
Yeah. And that's why we've tried in our episodes about it to always bring it back to it's not going to be equal.
No.
And it's not about good or bad necessarily. It's just about being aware of it. Because now that you're aware of it, it makes a lot more sense how I navigate things.
Yeah.
And it also helps you navigate the things that you're navigating or you're taking on in a way that's the most helpful. But it also helps me understand that I can't just get in my head about you not doing enough if it's because I'm not releasing the mental side of it. Like I've got an ownership over that too.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah. Interesting.
Yes. All right. Next one. Anxious and avoidant attachment types are actually the most likely to end up together as a couple. Myth or fact?
I'd say fact.
It is a fact. This one sounds like it shouldn't be true, but the research backs it up. The anxious avoidant pairing is one of the most common in relationships. The anxious partner's need for closeness actually triggers the avoidant partner's withdrawal, which then triggers the anxious partner to pursue harder.
Yeah, we've done a whole episode on, I can't remember what we titled it, but it was your attachment styles.
It was attachment styles, yeah.
So I'll try and link that in when I post this. But yeah, it's complicated. And once you understand that, again, that's what this whole podcast is about. Once you understand these things, then it helps you navigate them.
Yeah.
Because you're not just like, why does he or she do this or that? And be sitting in that spiral of each of you thinking that about each other.
Yeah, exactly. Next one. Having a baby brings couples closer together.
I would say fact. But I also recognize that it totally depends on how you navigate it.
Mm-hmm. It's a myth. This one might sting, but the research is consistent across multiple large-scale studies. 67% of couples experience a significant drop in relationship satisfaction within the first year of having a baby, a steeper decline than couples without kids over the same period. Interestingly, mums tend to feel it suddenly right after birth, while dads tend to feel it more gradually around 6 to 15 months in.
I can see that.
And I'm actually surprised you said myth, knowing the work that we've been doing. But this is a big part of like dad's group work as well.
Yeah, but I think it comes down to how you navigate it. So that's what I was thinking when you said that. With all of these, for one thing, it's not us saying whether it's fact or myth.
No.
This is information we've gathered. So blame other people, not us.
Yeah.
And two, they're generalized statements. So just because we're saying this, that it's a myth that couples are closer together, that just means generally doesn't mean that you're going to be apart. No. I think it's how you navigate it because some couples, I 100% agree that if you're looking at your having a baby as being a fix to your relationship or something that's automatically going to bring you closer together, that's not going to be. And there's like there's a thing that you're needing to work on. You're like, oh, we're going to have a kid. That's going to make it better. That's not going to be good. That's not going to work out well. But I think like people that can tackle it and come through to the teamwork, then we are closer together. Yeah. I feel like we're closer than we were before kids because we've had to become team.
Yeah.
But so I think the other thing is, at what point are you looking at it in the scale? Maybe initially there's like a divide, but then it brings you closer together later.
Well, again, 67%, right? Like, so it's not like that's close to 50-50.
Yeah.
My point. It's not like an overwhelming
it's like
amount.
90% of people.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah.
And use that as a tool to be prepared and intentional to become closer instead of a thing that's like, it's the same as the divorce rate. Like I remember before we got married, just thinking, oh my gosh, so many people get divorced. Yeah. So, but then I was like, well, instead of looking at that and being like, well, who knows? It's 50-50 or whatever the rate is. What if I look at that and be like, it's not an uncommon thing, so let's be intentional. And
exactly. And I think that's a really important thing to look at this is like, all right, it's not, drastically a lot, but if you look at 67% of all parents, it's actually a lot. Like the actual number. And it's just like, well, cool. All right. That's a figure that we now know. That's a stat that we now know. How are we preparing against that?
And use it as and not to be like, oh, having kids isn't a good idea. We love, I would never change that for the world. It's been the best gift ever. So
yeah. Except for in the middle of the night.
Even then, one of my kids just got me toilet paper to wipe my nose. So
why did you bring that up? Oh, because
they're handy.
Yeah, exactly.
They're good.
That's
to
right.
Have around.
Have kids to get your stuff. Awesome. All right, now last one. Having sex more frequently always leads to a happier relationship. Myth or fact?
Myth.
That's right. So research from the University of Toronto found that relationship satisfaction increases with sexual frequency, but only up to about once a week. So anything more than that doesn't really have any impact. The real predictor wasn't frequency at all.
Yeah.
It was whether couples talked openly about sex outside of moments of conflict. Couples who discussed it regularly, not just when there was a problem, reported significantly better satisfaction overall.
Yeah, interesting. And listen to our episode with Sheila Gregoire because that's the work she does, or her and her husband have done, and actually a team that they've got a lot around. They've studied thousands and thousands of people to see what the data is behind these things. And people think that the more that people try to like assign an amount and that equals your satisfaction, that's not going to be accurate because everybody's going to be different and the situation's going to be different. That's really fascinating.
So thank you for joining us for Myth or Fact.
Myth or Fact. All right. Well, we've got updates. We got updates for you. So we are in, I don't know if you've noticed our last probably 3-ish episodes or 3-ish weeks on the podcast have felt a little bit all over the place or maybe not quite as prepared. But we are in a season of transition. Season of transition in our family.
Yeah.
This whole year has been a bit, well, actually, our whole life.
I was going to say, like, when did that stop?
Our whole lives has felt like a season. I can't say that.
Season of transition.
Season of transition.
Got it.
But this specifically 2026 has been a lot of change. So I've pulled back from my work. I was working at Dad's group regularly. And then I pulled back to focus on coaching and the podcast and having more time available to building this stuff up. And we've had a lot of stuff work-wise that we've been trying to figure out and navigate. And it's been just a lot of kind of really feeling out what plans work for our family and work for this season. And I don't know, I feel like there's been a lot of, what's the word? Pivoting.
It's been a lot of figuring out, like, right? So, we've had our goals, but then we've had cost of living be insane. And so our goals wouldn't really work in that season because we had to pay bills and we had to pay mortgage, we had to pay for food, and we just couldn't do that long term with what we were trying to do with you cutting back work. And so, it's been a lot of figuring that out. And like you said, though, we've been figuring things out for years now. So it is just another thing to figure out. And we've been doing that, which has been good. It's been a good thing to figure out.
Yeah, it's been awesome. It takes mental load.
Yeah.
What's really interesting, and this happens all the time, is we will have a plan and we'll start down that plan and then something will happen that makes us realize, oh, that's not going to work. And so we pivot. I just keep picturing Friends.
Pivot.
We pivot, or we're like kind of aimlessly going and then something else comes along that just kind of comes out of the blue that takes us in a totally different direction, but for the same kind of goal. And so what's interesting is this year I pulled back from Dad's group and to focus on coaching, which has been really cool, but it's been slow going because building your own things is always slow going. And I'm so passionate about it. I love it. Every single time I get off a coaching call or whatever, I am just like, I love this stuff. If I'm at training and stuff, I just love it. I live and breathe it. And so it's very life-giving. But like you mentioned, the cost of living and stuff like that was getting to the point where we're like, but it's not really sustainable right now to just be building up my own coaching stuff on the side. And so I started to look for a job for myself. Like I was like, what else can I take on? I didn't want to take on anything with big mental load because I was like trying to build this. If I was going to try and build coaching and the podcast and then take on a job that took a lot of my mental space, it was just going to be too much. So I started applying for cleaning jobs, like anything that was going to be really compartmentalized. Cleaning jobs, like I looked at retail jobs, things that I could like go to and leave at
and
work
switch off. Yeah.
And switch off. And like there was a few things that came up. It was all within the span of one night that all of this happened. And Blair he didn't even know I was doing it. I was just like working through our budget. And then he came out like 3 hours later and was like, what are you doing? I was like, so I've applied for some full-time roles. We hadn't even spoken about me doing full-time either. That was a whole thing.
Yeah.
But it just all was like this. Yeah. I go on these like hyperfixation journeys anyway.
Which is fun.
So what happened was I set out looking for work. And like I said, the low mental load work. And then I talked to a friend of mine just asking her if she knew if they had cleaners at the place that she works. Cause I was like, that'd be really cool I would love to just go somewhere and clean, put my podcast in, clean, come back. Not my podcast, just to be clear.
Yeah, listen to yourself.
More listen to myself, but the podcast I like. Anyway, she's like a go-getter. So she sent me like 20 jobs that she found for me that night. Anyway, and so I was looking through all these different things. And then she sent me this job and she's like, this is coaching. And I was thinking, that's wild. So I looked into it and it was this role that was full-time and it was coaching. They were looking for people with coaching experience, also youth work experience, which I was like, I've got a youth work certificate, which I've never thought to use. Like never in a million years would I apply for a youth work role. But I have done tons of youth work and I've got I did 2 youth work internships and I did a youth work certificate. So I was like, that's really strange. I'm super qualified for that. Or like I've got all the little pieces. So anyway, I looked into it, loved the idea of it, applied for it, and applied for a few other roles that were kind of more generic. Blair comes out and he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I applied for 3 full-time jobs. Hear me out. His work has just shifted so that he's got more flexibility. And then our youngest is at daycare and Blair works from home. And I was like, it actually could work for me to work out of the house full time. And I'd never been able to look for full-time roles before. Anyway, he was really excited about this job when I was like, I found this one, or I didn't find it, my friend found it, that is coaching and it's youth related. And you were like, that sounds really good.
It's like, well, it's coaching was the thing that got my attention, was like, it's literally what you're trying to build and they're paying you for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be setting aside my coaching.
No.
Like, it wouldn't be putting coaching on hold, because that was my biggest back and forth internally, was like, I don't want to put it on hold because I love it, but I need to be getting more income. And so anyway, I applied for it and I was like, we'll see what happens. And then the next morning I was telling my mother-in-law and she had a really good feeling about it too. She's like, oh, I got goosebumps hearing you talk about it, because I listed a few different jobs that I looked at. She's like, I got goosebumps about that coaching one. I was like, yeah. And as I was talking to her on the phone, I opened the link to the job just to like refresh my brain about it. And it was gone. And I was like, oh, it's closed. I was like, gosh, I missed it. And I like went on their chat and I was like, I got my application in last night, but then I saw today it's closed. Does that mean it's been filled? And they're like, well, if you got it in before the deadline, then you'll still be assessed. And then, but it's like it's a broad company. It wasn't a specific office. They're like, I don't know, but if you got it in before the closing deadline, then they'd look at all the applications. Anyway, so then we just like, I kept applying for roles and looking at stuff, and we were assessing things for like a couple of weeks, and didn't hear from any of the jobs that I applied for. Not a single one of them. And some of them I was like well qualified for. Like, this is just the story of our lives. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, and that's but as well, like, I mean, I didn't have a good feeling about any of the other ones.
No, same. It was like, more like a placeholder.
I don't want you to have to go clean. Like, I don't want you to go do those things. Like, because it's not, you're doing it for necessity, not out of passion. I knew how much you actually enjoyed coaching, and, you know, we were questioning about what we're going to do with the podcast and all that sort of stuff. But then when you found that, I'm like, oh, dude, like, that just sounds
so good.
Perfect.
Yeah. And it wasn't the highest paying job out of all of the ones. Like, there were some that were higher paying, but they would be just not my passion. So it would be more kind of soul sucking. And anyway, didn't hear from anything. And I was sitting there with my toddler one afternoon, just like, well, I have not heard from anything. I don't know what to do. And all of a sudden my phone started ringing and I was like, hello. And it was the people from this youth workplace. And he had just a few questions. He's like, oh, I saw your application. And he had a few questions, and it was a really good chat. And he's like, okay, we're thinking of doing interviews next week and we'll get you in. And then they sent me an interview time, and I went in for the interview, and it was really, really good. And the more I was learning about the company, I was like, I know not everyone would like this. Like, a lot of people would look at this job and be like, oh, heck no. But for me, everything I learned, I was like, I actually really want to try this job. And everything was like just really specific to what I already had experience in. So I was like, this is wild how much this lines up. Went to the interview, was really good. They're like, you'll find out next week because we've got a few more interviews. And I got a call the next day saying that they were hiring me. So like whirlwind.
So fast.
Like, so fast, to the point where I didn't even have time to flag with my coaching clients between one session to the next that I was actually looking for work. Like, my mom came up and like all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I've just gone to an interview for a full-time role. Anyway, it was like a whole bunch of like, it was just so fast. But we're really excited. Long story. Not at all shorter, because we've gone really into the detail. I have now got a full-time role. I will be starting next week. All the pieces are in place for it to start. I'm really excited to dive in. I have not worked full-time out of the house since before our oldest was born. So that's 2017. Yeah. 2016 was the last
I don't think
time.
we've both had a full-time job at the same time.
Yeah, we haven't. Because when I was full-time, you weren't full-time.
No, because I was studying.
Yeah, when we first got married.
Yeah.
Yeah, so crazy. So it's going to be a whole shift in our schedule. It's going to be a huge adjustment for the family rhythm.
It's a whole different stage of life too for us, you know, like our kids are in school or daycare, and, you know, it's a whole shift. And so that's, I think, a big thing that we want to do today is share those things. But again, just share with with you. We want to take you on the journey of our lives too, because we do get questions of like, you know, when we bring up these topics, some people question of like, oh, do you even struggle with these things? It's like, yeah, we struggle with stuff. We go through seasons, and that's why we want to share these, so you can see the seasons that we're going on, that we're currently navigating through. The season that we're navigating through at the moment is transition. Now, I remember when I was getting counseling and you went as well. And I think we were learning about how there's different types of trauma, right? One of them is like, you know, family stuff. One of them is moving.
Oh, you're talking about the stress ratings.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, so things that add to stress, basically. Yeah.
But it was like trauma. They'll classify as trauma though, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Anyway, don't quote me on this, but it was something like this. But they were intense anyway. So like moving was one of them. Changing jobs was another. And then death in the family, having kids. Those these really big things that impact your life. And, you know, we've gone through every one of those over the last few years. This is why the last few years have been so big. Yeah, I was going to say busy is like not necessarily busy, but yeah, big changes that we've had to navigate through, because we navigate through every one of those things. And now again, we're going through the work style, like the work season. You working full time is going to be a big thing. You're going to be drained with energy. It's going to be different, right? You'll get life and you'll lose life.
I will feel my cup will be filled I will feel empty.
So yeah, that's the season that we're navigating through at the moment. So that's going to be a big question for us. Okay, well, I think the good thing is from doing this podcast for a couple of years now, how are we navigating through it? Like, and we know that this season is coming up, and so how are we preparing for it? What things are we putting in place? And that's what we want to share with you guys today. And we also want to give you guys some tools at the end to work through that too. Yeah,
massive season and all really positive things, but it's going to shift around. And the one of the biggest things is, like we said, we haven't had this for a long time, and so we don't know what it's going to look like. It's one thing to project what it's going to look like; it's a whole other thing to actually go through it. So we'll be walking this journey with you and be letting you know how it's going as we go. And just probably part of this is to flag things may shift, and we're trying to like assess what we need to shift around in terms of the other stuff that we're doing. The podcast, that's the biggest question we've had since telling people that I'm going to be working is, what are you going to do with the podcast? And the podcast is so important to us. We love this work, and we still have this long-term goal of this is the work that's life-giving to us. And so it's not like something we're just giving up because the season's not working for it. But it might just mean it looks different. And so we've got to think about that. And there's not much clarity. We don't have much to share around what that could be, but it just might look different. And this is a warning that we might come up one day. The speed of things, it could be next week. We'll be like, this is what's happening. So just be warned that
what's your space? But we've been gone for 2 years. And when it's been this, I've been in my head a lot about, you know, what to do with the podcast and things. And I'm backwards and forth about a few things. And something that really stood out to me though, you put a post up recently, and I think it was a trend, but it was a post about, you know, how can you do a podcast when you're busy, when you're so busy? And we are extremely busy with 4 kids working. Now we're going to be both working full time. The busyness is there, but then again, like the quality time that we get from doing the podcast together, the way that it strengthens our relationship, the quality conversations that we have is so worth it. And so we're really working hard to keep this going and, you know, having that capacity. And we've got help with our socials now, which is fantastic, through Josh. Thank you so much, Josh. And we're looking at potential, like what other things can we do to outsource to get that help as well, to create a bit more capacity for us and
make it more sustainable.
Exactly. Yeah. But we're going to have to start recording at night times. That's going to be one thing.
That's what we did in the OG days.
The OG days. And that's when the energy was low. But
whose energy was low?
Everyone's.
It'll be mine this time.
Yeah.
I remember every time I've started a full-time role, I remember being so aware, like, oh my gosh, I'm wrecked in the first couple of weeks. And that'll probably happen.
But it's going to be interesting because you've mentioned a couple of things like, you know, weekends. You're like, I can't wait to experience what a weekend feels like. Yeah.
Even getting out of the house regularly. Because one of my friends was just saying recently, she's like, I'd love to do more phone calls. I was like, well, I'm going to be driving to and from work.
Yeah.
And it's in Albury. It's not in Wodonga. So it's actually a little bit more of a drive than it would normally be as well. So
it's 15 minutes, but
Yeah, more than
2 minutes.
More than normal here.
Yeah. But as well, like, you know, you're going to be experiencing what it's like to come home every day. You know, like you coming home and sitting down and watching a show or something is going to be
so much better.
I haven't been here today, you know.
Probably more exhausting to come into the energy of the chaos.
Yeah.
We've talked about this as well, but there was a season where you stopped working and I was working more than full time, actually, from home though. And it was interesting to have the role shift.
Yeah.
Really, really interesting. Like difficult, but also has helped us so much. So it's probably going to be another one of those experiences, I reckon.
Because I'm going to still be working from home. And that's going to be, the good thing is you get that drive, which I've always wanted since working from home, that drive from work to home where you get to decompress, breathe a little bit.
The funny thing is, like, this is what's so weird about our plans. We've been like, Blair needs to get a job out of the house.
Yeah.
Blair needs to be out of the house for his own mental health. He needs to be around people. And I'm happy to work from home.
Yeah.
This absolute opposite has happened.
Yeah.
I'm going to be out of the house around people. And Blair's going to be at home by himself.
Yeah. Even more isolated.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, but we obviously have a faith. We've spoken about this on the podcast. Every single time a big transition has happened like this, we have seen God's hand in it so clearly.
Yeah.
The practical way that this has come together is such a confirmation for us, especially because the things that we attempt on our own that should come together and they don't, is always mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Like, why have we not even heard from that? Like, why have I not heard from any of the other jobs? I've ended up applying for like 6 or 7 jobs, except for the one job that I really wanted.
And it was so easy to get.
And it's so easy to get. And why did I think to talk to my friend about this work, about getting a job? Why did she happen to find this role? And why did I didn't even look at the closing date of the job. I just was like, oh yeah, I'll apply for that.
The night before it was closing. The
night that it was closing. It wouldn't have even been on Seek the next day if I'd waited a few hours to look up jobs. So like just all of these things, the way that it's come together, we just really trust. And it's an amazing feeling of confirmation, because these steps are scary. If you don't have that confirmation, it can make it harder. And so for us, it's just a really, like, even though it's not looking like what we thought it would look like, it's just a very peace-filled move forward. So even down to like one last thing, our toddler, he's at daycare. And I was like, maybe I'll just inquire. It was before I had like officially gotten the role, if they have any extra spaces. And she's like, well, there's lots of spaces on Monday, which is the day that Blair's going to be with him. And we don't need that day. And she's like, there's only one space on Wednesday. But I can try and hold it for you. And Wednesday was the one day that we really needed. And I was like, nope, take it. I want it.
Yeah.
We'll take it. So all of those pieces, like so life-giving and confirming. So we'll see how it's going to pan out. Anyway, that's our update. That's our update to update that it might look different as well. It will look different, as in our lives will look very different, but we don't know what it's going to look like in the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. So watch the space. But how you can journey with us how you can support us in this season is honestly share it. Just share the podcast. If you can do one thing today by listening to this, that's going to be a big thing. And I know we're on the radio, so for the few radio stations that are listening to this as well, you can't share this through the method that you're listening to. Exactly. Thank you for words. Yep. So please go on to Spotify, YouTube, or whatever. Jump on that, subscribe, and share it to someone else. It's going to help us a lot in this process as well, just to get it out there a lot more. Yeah. Like I said, we are looking at outsourcing some more of the work that we're doing to others, but we're also in this transition of being able to actually pay those people. Yeah. And we want to hear from you guys too about what is really important to you in the podcast, what is really important to you in our content, like what has helped you, what do you like, what do you want to see more of? All that feedback is invaluable. Like it's the most important thing for us. So let us know. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So because it's an update on us, we thought we would let you know, for interest's sake, what our top 5s are. Top 5s in general. What are top 5 things that are happening for each of us? We'll have 5 that we would recommend or that we're loving at the moment. So we're going to list some random top 5s that may or may not be helpful for you. So the way that I looked at this as well, so you asked me to get this ready. So the way that I looked at it is like, cool, with the season that we're going into, what are top 5 things for me that's helping me with the season that we're going into and why? Okay, well, so Blair's might be a lot more serious than mine. Exactly. All right. Okay. You go first. Well, no, you go first. If I'm more serious, then mine's going to be better, which means
we'll go back and forth.
We'll go back and forth. Okay. All right, cool. For the first one is relaxation, so TV. Okay, so what shows am I enjoying at the moment? Okay, so it's not groundbreaking. It's just watching a show, but I'm intentional with it. Okay, so it's like I can't watch TV for a lot. I get very restless and overwhelmed. So I can't just do this. But when I am trying to switch off my brain, a show is always a win for us. And the show that I'm really enjoying at the moment is Rooster. I'm really enjoying it. And we've caught up. And I hate waiting for shows. I want to binge it, but I can't. But it is Rooster with Steve Carell. It is great.
To add some suggestions to that, Jury Duty.
Oh,
if
that was good.
you have not watched Jury Duty,
that was good.
100% watch it. It's so uplifting. It's so wholesome. It's just like feel good, clever, really, really good.
I think I'm enjoying Rooster more than Jury Duty.
Rooster's entertaining. Yeah. Jury Duty is like a kind
of like Ted Lasso vibes.
Jury Duty or Rooster?
Yeah, Jury Duty. It's in terms of like how it makes you feel.
Yeah. I feel like Jury Duty is like a social moment in TV history, I guess. So check it out. Really fascinating. I think it's on Prime or something like that, but you'll find it.
I think it's on Amazon.
There's 2 seasons. Really good.
Yeah. I really want to watch Ted Lasso now.
Yeah, I do not. We've watched it. So I feel like we've watched that so many times.
You've watched it like twice.
That's not true. Anyway.
Moving on.
We are massive Steve Carell fans. So that Rooster is great for that. It's actually very well made, very clever. Another show that we really enjoyed that we've caught up on and we have to wait is Paradise. Very good.
Oh yeah, I was really surprised by that actually. Yeah. Like I think I put it on. I didn't know what to watch, and I chucked it on. I'm like, oh okay. At the end of the first episode, I'm like, what?
Yeah, really good.
And then the second season, I'm like, what?
Yeah,
it was really good. Paradise, it's a good one.
Yeah, great. So that's Next your one. Relaxation TV shows that got through. I've got a massive list of things. So
really?
I got some of those off through that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. All right. So one thing that has been really, really helping us when we take it is magnesium at bedtime. Magnesium has made our sleep good.
If you haven't taken magnesium before bed, do it.
Yeah.
You will have the best sleep.
Yeah. Get the right one.
Yeah.
So it took me a good 20 minutes of chat GPTing at the pharmacy to figure out which one I wanted. We actually have 2. I've got a sleep drink one and we've got another one. And I couldn't tell you what they are, but they're really, really, really good. So you get the right one, but magnesium. Also, if you've got like migraines like me, really helpful.
Yeah. Are we doing like, I did a TV show, so that counts as one for me, and then you share your TV show, that's one for you?
No.
No, it's just one for me.
Yeah, one for you.
Okay, and then you've done one.
Yeah.
So to build onto your one then, which is not mine, it's yours. Yep. What's the powder stuff we take in the
creatine.
Coffee? Creatine. That's also another good one.
Yes.
Take it every day. Check it out. If you don't know what creatine is, Google it. It's very, very good.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go into details of that because this is not a
health
medical
podcast.
Yeah, it's not a health podcast. But
my cousin is a what do you call him?
PT.
A PT, but he gives a lot of educational stuff on his Instagram. He's been talking about creatine. There's the importance of vitamin D and the importance of, I can never say this one, it's like L-theanine or something like that.
Sounds groovy.
Anyway, finding these supplements that are extremely helpful for general well-being, really helpful. Vitamin D is one I'm trying to get back on, and because I just don't go outside enough, and it's really good for energy.
So if they want to follow him.
Oh yeah, 100%. Give him a little shout out. A coach called Joel, I think is what his Instagram, I will tag him in the thing.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Jolie. His wife is also insanely good. That's Coach Ginny. Yeah. Anyway, their emails are really helpful with random pieces of information about well-being stuff, and that is one of the things I've been seeing on their thing.
Yeah, so check them out. If you're interested in health and benefits of health things,
do it.
Follow them along. Sign up to their email. All right, number 2 for me, another one has been, so going to this season, something I've been thinking about is, well, how do I enjoy family time amongst the chaos, right? Because when there's transition, there's busyness, there's always chaos. Now, we just had a week away on a holiday for your mum's 60th, which was great. And every time we do it, every time we get away, I'm always like, man, holidays are amazing for bonding for us, like as a family. I absolutely love it. And I'm like, we got to do this more. But then we come back and then it's like, oh, I can't be bothered organizing it. Holiday's going to be too hard. But then we go there anyway. So on that holiday, I played board games with the kids so much. And it was great because it was a great way of bonding with them as well. And it was just, it's easy to do. So for me, that's something that I've been really enjoying is board games with the kids. They're getting to this age as well where they're actually starting to grasp it better.
Yeah.
And I'm losing now.
And they're actually really clever.
Yeah, they're actually, it's good because they're games by chance, not by strategy, which makes it better because it's not just me winning all the time. But yeah, it's great. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love that. All right, my next one is a hack that I feel like I might have talked about this on a recent episode, but there are certain things that are sticky points for me in terms of keeping my life moving. And one of them, like I've just been on a road to discovery of that over probably specifically the last like 6 years since COVID. But one of them is that I create a pile of clothes next to my bed. Did I talk about this recently?
Do you have a pile of clothes next to your bed? Do you?
Anyway.
What?
I feel like I've spoken about this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I create a pile of clothes next to my bed. It's because it's clothes I wear every single day. I work from home, have been working from home. I'm not like super active. So it's not like these clothes are getting dirty enough to wash. And I wear them. I'm a very comfortable, low maintenance person. So I'll wear the same trackies or the same hoodie all week, as you've seen on my podcast. And so there's a pile that exists next to my bed. But also, I really hate putting clothes in a drawer. I don't know why. I hate having folded clothes and I hate putting them in a drawer. There's something about trying to shove clothes into a drawer that never fit. And I've always been like, I don't even have that many clothes. I'm not a big clothes person and I can't ever fit my clothes into these drawers. So instead of fighting this part of me that, like, logically speaking, Blair approach would be you can just open your drawer and put them away. That's like, yeah, I understand that for a Blair type person. For an Amy
just to be
type
clear,
person,
all my drawers are empty.
Yeah,
I hang mine.
Oh yeah, Blair hangs.
I hang it. I
and then he
hate
also
drawers
irons
too.
his. Anyway, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you hang yours. And why is it? I don't know what it is about drawers. I hate them. And so instead of fighting that and being like, no, I really should be able to just put my stuff in a drawer, I decided one day, I'm over this.
Yeah.
I've just been wanting a system that's easy for me. And I want open tubs that I can throw the different categories of clothes into. So I went to Bunnings and I found these big open black tubs with kind of like a slanted opening. So it's not a square cube that's open and it falls out, and it's not something I have to pull open. It had to be specifically workable so that I could just throw it in, but I didn't have to open it to put it in. And I have loved that system.
Yeah.
I still have my pile of clothes next to the bed.
Not as big.
But it's not as big. And I put my stuff away really fast. It takes me like 2 minutes to just like throw the different categories in. I don't fold them because they don't stay folded and I don't care about them. Also, I can see better like what I have. Yeah. If I'm looking for a shirt, I can see all my shirts instead of having to dig through this drawer. And then my next step that I'm going to do this week is I'm going to print some hooks and I'm going to hang them on my wall next to my bed. And the things that I'm wearing actively, I'm just going to hang them up on the hooks because having them hung there is going to be so much neater than this pile on the floor.
And also, to be clear, I do have a pile next to my bed too, but they're folded clothes. I just haven't put my clothes away.
Yeah, that's because of the drawers.
Yeah.
So, honestly.
And they're pants. Like, because my pants go in drawers, my tops don't. My tops go on the hooks, my pants stay on the floor.
Maybe we need to get you tubs. Or hooks that work for pants. Maybe. But this is the point of my thing is not that everyone needs tubs for their clothes. The point of my thing is I have been on a mission to figure out what are these sticky points that I just can't quite get into the normal routine that maybe a normal person would. And instead of fighting that for the rest of my life, is there a system I can find that works better for me, that makes it more automatic? And that's one of the things that I'm doing. So
my next thing is, again, one thing that we are very aware of, because again, I'm a social butterfly, and I need to be around people, and I'm going to be at home by myself all the time. So we bought a cat.
Oh yeah.
No, but other than that, just booking in times where I will get that socializing, right? So, you leave earlier. So we've had to come up with the whole plan. You're going to leave earlier. I'm going to be on school drop off every day. I'm going to be school pick up every day. And then my mum's going to pick up our toddler from daycare every day. You're going to drop him off. But from that too is so working out those schedules, but also booking in. So Wednesday night's pickleball night for me. So doing the activity there is really important, and knowing that I've got that and prioritizing that is going to be really important. Another thing too, and I've been talking to my work as well, is that, you know, I want to try and book in once a week for lunch. I'm going to meet with some friends down and have coffee as well with my other friends that are working from home as well, or have that flexibility. Because we're all in the same boat. Like, just being stuck in the house all the time is quite hard. And just, you know, with mental health, but also fogginess, I can't work as well if I stay at home for the whole week, you know, all those things. So putting those practical things to get out and socialize have been extremely helpful.
Scheduling them or making them work in your schedule.
Exactly. And I need a schedule. Yeah. Like, I've got friends that are very spontaneous. Like, hey, you want to catch up now? I'm like, no, that stresses me out, dude. Like, I've got to have it this time, this day. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. My next one is controversial. We've spoken about this as well. We have 2 blankets on our bed. We each have our own blankets. And we actually had a very joking argument about this last night. I've just remembered why this is so important, because in the summer months, it's not really that big of a deal. Once it starts to get cold, which is starting to get cold now, the blanket fight is a whole thing. And so anyway, my first part of it is try having 2 blankets.
It's amazing.
It's very good. Second part is I found a hack, and this is what we had our little argument about because Blair tried to take my doona. But I found a hack that a doona, I don't know, doona, it's one of these words. Duvet, whatever you call it, quilt, is great because it's heavier. We don't even have them out in summer, but they come out in winter, and it's heavier, obviously warmer. But something about it isn't warm, like it's not cozy to me. And so I found a hack that we've got these microfiber fuzzy blankets, and they're what we usually use throughout the year in summer and everything. Everyone has their own. And so I put that around me as my first layer, and then I put my doona on top.
Duvet.
Do you call it a duvet?
I don't even know.
My big blanket on top. And the reason I do that is the big blanket has too much air movement. But the fuzzy warm blanket keeps you warm and keeps it close. So if you have that underneath and then the big blanket on top.
You can also get fuzzy warm duvet covers as well. But
probably could do that, yeah. So that's my hack. 2 hacks in one.
Yeah, hacked it up.
Your turn.
Cool. So the next one for me is, and this is something that I'm doing, and now because we can like afford shelves, because we've got a job, I want to get the house organized, right? Like, there's a lot of things that I want to do around the house that we just haven't done because we've been on a 0 spend budget. But like our garage, we can only fit 1 car in because we've got all this stuff, like, you know, the stuff that you can store in your garage or storage, it's all just piled. We don't have shelves. So I want to get the shelves. I want to get organized. And that's also going to help. I need to get different tools to help with our backyard. I'm doing a big landscaping in our backyard because this place, what's that?
A slow going big project.
Yeah. And, but that was one of the big things that needed to be done when we got this house, was the yard was overgrown, like intensely. It's a lot of work to be done, but it's focusing on that. That as well helps with my exercise, gets me outside. I've been working outside every day this week and a bit before we went on holidays as well, which has been really nice. So not sitting in my office every day as well has been a really good thing. So being outside more, getting the house organized helps with just to be more enjoyable at home rather than just clutter. Yep. That's my last one.
Cool. Well, my last one is spurred on by a conversation I had on Messenger last night with one of my friends. And so while we were away from my mom's birthday, I got these canvases from Kmart. It was like 10 canvases for maybe $10 or $12, so pretty cheap. And we did a paint and sip and we painted each other. It was very fun. But my friend posted last night that she's been doing painting with acrylic paint pens from Kmart as well. And I realized we've got acrylic paint pens, so I was using them yesterday. I was trying them out. They're very cool. And I've got these canvases for the kids that are left over from our paint and sip. They've got their acrylic paint pens and they're just painting with them. But this is my hack, is something, acrylic paint pens is such a cool idea because painting or crafts with kids is so messy. But because they're in pen form, it's just like a marker. So it's still messy-ish, but way, way easier, way less cleanup. They don't dry out if you put the lid on. It's not like paint and you have brushes and you have to clean them and all of these things. But it gives a better vibe than just a marker or crayons or pencils. So get on the acrylic paint pens.
So you saying you're going to do it more?
Yeah, well, I'm saying it's a great hack for parents.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and we've got a bunch.
So we're giving them out?
to people listening to the podcast? No, we've got a bunch. I've liked them, so you guys should try them too. Wow.
I was just trying to.
It's not truth, it's fact. Jeez Louise. Okay, so these are our top fives. This is our update. Obviously, we're in a transition time and we don't have necessarily a ton of clarity about what it's going to look like. We wanted to finish off with a practical exercise that we will do with you here right now that you can do as well to help you if you are also finding that you're in a time of transition and a time where you don't have much clarity. And having a lack of clarity about what we're moving towards is really hard. I realized today, preparing for this episode, I was like, oh, I've got nothing. And I think one of the reasons why my brain has just really struggled to get into the podcasting rhythm and plan things is because I don't know what it's going to look like in a month's time. And so when I don't know what something's going to look like, I just go into avoidance. But the moment I've got a bit of clarity, even just clarity about why I'm struggling with that, is the moment that things clear up. So this is a future pace. I'm going to read through it, and I challenge you guys, invite you guys to read through it or to think through it and go through it with us. If you're facing any lack of clarity or any time of transition and you want to really put just some intentional time into planning or thinking through what direction you're moving into. So future pace is basically like a visualization, a mindfulness activity where you kind of just really go into your brain and you help yourself think about what you're wanting, because a lot of the time we're just going through life distracted by what's happening around us and not really thinking and planning about the future. So I'm going to read through this. Try and visualize this as clearly as you can, because the clearer you can get it, the more impactful it is on you, and the more you can feel it in your body, and the more it can impact how you go about things. So if you are driving, please don't close your eyes.
Just close one eye.
If you're cutting vegetables or something, again, please don't close your eyes. Something that's dangerous, you're an adult, hopefully, and you know what to do. Yeah. But if you're able to close your eyes and relax for a second, please read through this with us. And Blair's going to close his eyes too and show you what you're meant to do. All right. So close your eyes. I want us to take a deep breath in through your nose. I'm not going to do it because it'll whistle. And out through your mouth. And again, a deep breath in. And let it fall out through your mouth. And I want you to let your shoulders drop. I want you to rest into the chair or the ground below you. And just let your body settle in a little bit more. And we're going to focus inward into your body and into this moment. Now we're going to zoom forward into the future 6 months from now. The transitions that you're in right now have settled a little bit. You're feeling settled. You're feeling established. You have a sense of peace. Things are feeling clearer, even if you don't know yet what has changed. You're feeling it in your body. Sit in that moment for a little bit and just notice what that feels like in your body. Do you feel calmer, more grounded, less tense? What does it feel like? And where do you feel it in your body? Now we're going to zoom out a little bit and we're going to notice what's also around you in this future. Where are you in this moment? Who's with you? What do you hear, see, smell? What are you doing? What does a normal day look like for you in this future 6 months from now? What are you spending your time and energy on? Now we're going to step back out again and notice what has changed to bring this change. What's different from now to then? What have you started doing? What have you stopped doing? What's different about how you're talking to yourself or how you're responding to the people around you? What's different in your day-to-day rhythms? In how you look, feel, or hold yourself? In what you're filling your time with? And out of all those things you're thinking about, what one thing or aspect is standing out to you the most? What feels like the biggest change or the most significant change? I want you to take hold of that thing, that biggest shift that you've noticed, and we're going to bring that back to us right now, right today. We're going to bring that back as you start to become aware of your current real life surroundings, the chair underneath you, the temperature of the room, the clothes on your body, the noises you hear. I want you to hold on to that change, take a deep breath, and open your eyes. And I want that change to help you have clarity about what you want to change going forward, about what's going to be shifting as you move into this time of transition. Just one small change, not a big change, not a huge life overhaul, but one small shift that you can make this week that will help you move towards that future in 6 months' time. All right, guys. That's our update.
That's our update. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Good chat, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.